can work their uppercuts. Bring it back up, jabs, crosses. I can spin around and work my hook punches on the side. Does that make sense? We can work together. I can work around her, she can work around me. Does that make sense? She can give me some targets, I can find a target myself. I can move over off angle and throw some roundhouse, throw some driving elbows, so on and so forth. Okay? I would say also, if you have, just don't get too wild with it, but if she throws it down, you can grab a hold, cross shot, throw some knees if you'd like as well. All close range weapons. Punches, elbows, knees. Got it? Take your time. Don't get all chaotic and out of control. Guard is up. Okay, 30-second rounds. Go. Breathe through it. Ski eyes. Ski eyes. Stretch your body. Grab a sip if you need it. Don't overdo it. Touch your toes. Do what you need to. Get your body nice and back in order. See, we don't have to always do 10 laps. Right? You don't always have to do 10 laps. 10 laps is much harder than that, wasn't it? Another 30 seconds of first time, so stretch it out. That's what you're doing. Justin, welcome. Give it a few months.
Oh, yeah. But you're relaxing, so let's take it slow. And then, very end. I got you.
We've got an excellent group of new white belts in the dojo. Really. No, seriously, it's really neat to see. I love a little when we get these little snippets of growth. And this is just a few. We have another 3 or 4 brand new students who all have a lot of talent. Very cool. All right, go ahead and pop back up. Grab your partner. We're going to have one group of 3 tonight. No, we're not. So you can go back to the target that you were just working with for right now, and then we're just going to rotate through the night, okay? So everybody gets a chance to mix it up. Let's start with, I want to start with 5 swords because it's common ground, and it's just something that we can play a little bit with. The theme is going to be how to accelerate a strike. How come borrow you for a second? Accelerate a strike. That is a lot of times, if you look up on like YouTube, a lot of fighting, street fighting and stuff. One of the strikes that you'll find if you knock somebody to the ground, it's extremely unorthodox in a way, unless you're a martial artist, but it's one of these strikes to the jaw and the eardrum. Mastoid process. It's an open-handed strike. Sometimes it can be I call it a bear paw strike, which is a lovely one, or a tiger's path. Bear paw is really the traditional way that I learned it. You can also take the hand out of the equation and go full-blown forearm, right, or ridge hand. Okay. You can go forearm by closing the fist and striking with the forearm side. You can go ridge, get a little more specific in the side of the neck, or just take all 3 targets, the mastoid, the piece of the cerebellum, and the eardrum, and just whack and strike. The thing about it is it's about learning, and we're not going to get into this right off the bat, but it's learning how we throw the backup mass behind the strike so we get full blown level of power that we're capable of throwing. Instead of just standing here and popping, which of course could do the job, especially if I have the backup mass and body weight. But I can accelerate that just by understanding how to step into it as well. So when I step into it, I strike with that dropping of marriage of gravity and that step off momentum. Does that make sense? Another thing we're also going to talk about tonight and make sure everybody's understanding is it's not throwing from the shoulder joint, right? It is part of the equation, but it's also a fusion in a way. We also have this elbow joint that can also help extend the strike as well. Otherwise, we're just doing this, static, right? Our bats have joints. So when we throw from the shoulder through the hip, obviously, through the shoulder, then out through the elbow into the weapon, we bring the whole backup mass with it, and then the extension happens as well. Does that make sense? So that's what we're going to get into. 5 swords. I'll show it to you once on him, and then we'll go into the mirror for some of you who don't have this. This is a yellow to orange belt technique. No, I'm sorry, orange to yellow, orange to purple. No, it's a yellow to orange belt technique. Yellow to orange belt technique. It's one of our key component techniques in Kenpo. It's against a roundhouse punch. Also, just to make sure everybody just keeps this in mind, a roundhouse punch is different than a hook punch. Hook punch is a tight circle punch, comes from very, very close combat. A roundhouse is one of those haymaker punches, which, by the way, is still used in professional fighting all day long. It's just a different range. Does it make sense? We're not, now, a true haymaker, good old drop style, is just people throwing from their joint. Does that make sense? But a good solid roundhouse is basically an elongated circle of a good hook punch. Everybody get that? Okay. This is off of a roundhouse punch. What I'm going to do is I'm going to step into my opponent. I'm going to try slowly. I'm going to try to stop it here. That's my goal. Anything past this here has accelerated too much. Not to say that I can't deal with it, but it's certainly not ideal. I want to try to stop that momentum from taking place. Am I attacking, let me ask you guys, am I attacking the arm that's coming at me, or am I attacking the spinal ring that's coming at me, the center line of his body? Center line. If I can nail the center line like we talked about the other night, I can deflate that. Does that make sense? So I'm always thinking about, even though the blocks are hitting the weapon, my focus is on the spinal ring. I had a student, young student, actually, the 7th daughter today. I was talking, man, we leveled her up today. Woo! Nice. And she was throwing, I was throwing some pretty heated strikes at her. And first round, she did what most people do. She went, boom, and it was solid. But look how far he's gotten to his target. He's almost nearly there. That's because I call this weapons fixation. She was stopping the weapon before it got there. Then I told her, look at me in the pit. Keep your eyes on me, my spinal ring. And she got tiger eyes, and she just went, bam, and shot that into me. I'm like, okay, different, huh? She deflated the punch, and she also affected me big. Does that make sense? Now, the right hand, downward hammering. We're not stopping along a horizontal plane. We're actually going to put weight into that right leg of his by hitting the bicep as it's a strike. This becomes the insurance policy. So it's really not both arms shooting out like this. This arm is blocking like an extended outward block. This arm is actually actively hammer striking. From that hammer strike, now, if I get a knee check in there, great. I'm not looking for it, but it could be there. So I like to step deep enough. If I can get the knee check, great. It also is dependent upon whether he steps through or he drags out. This technique does not get bothered by either. It's an either-or situation. Nothing happens in regards to necessarily that. Everybody clear? So we have the hammer strike, and from the hammer strike, we ricochet into the chop. From the chop, we'll track the arm up with a heel palm and a finger poke. So the heel palm will always hit first right into the eyes with a finger poke led by the heel palm. From that position, we're in a forward bow down. We're now going to knock the wind out of him, taking the wind out with an uppercut, back to knuckle right into the solar plexus, kidneys, liver. Shoot that in. Notice the left hand folds over the right arm. That's our rebound shot as we go off the line, up the circle with the chop, and then we chop with the final strike. Now, that is the full version. The base version of the technique for my white belts, my new students, you don't need to go much further than here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The up the circle is starting to get a little more sophisticated, but if you can get that piece right there, that is truly the base technique. The rest is starting to get into what we call extension. Are we clear? So let's take you through. Let's face the mirror real quick. So first part of the technique, stepping in with my right, blocking with my left, hammer striking with my right. Here's the first part of the technique here. Okay, nice solid right neutral bow, creating a foundation, bending into my knees. From the hammer strike, bless you man, I come up. Now look, when I come up, I'm not going I'm also not going because that's a deflated strike. It's not enough range of motion. From here, it'll hit, dig into it to target. That's when it opens up. Now I'm starting to load for the shoot. So I'm literally bouncing and ricocheting, just like throwing rocks on a pond, right, or on a lake. Skipping rock. 1, 2. This 2 shot brings 3. It brings with it 3. As I hit here, I focus on the palm now by pivoting, keeping this foot locked at the angle, pivoting on my the ball of my back leg, hitting a forward bow, heel palm. The heel palm hits and I dive into one of those eyeballs. Okay, from that shot, I then release the torque in the hip, and also provided by the fact that I didn't allow this to open, I kept it at a 45-degree angle. There's some tension in the knee there. I'm going to release this hip back at him as I fold my left over my biceps, my right bicep, and punch with my uppercut, slight upward angle. For the ending, those of you who are practicing the beginning of the end, the left leg steps slightly up the circle. We're going to call it 430. This is my 12 o'clock. 430. It's going to shoot up the circle as my chop expands out. Pop. From that position here, I'm going to release again a little bit of that torque settling back into my right neutral bow, chopping for my final shot. Okay? That's the full standard version of the technique. Are we clear? Sure. One more time. We have block, hammer, chop, heel palm poke, uppercut, left leg goes up the circle, chop, expand, and release chop. There's our 5 forward. Are we clear? Yes. All right, go. Hit it. Back and forth, California to New York. Go. All right. If you're an advanced student, play. Play all you want. Play with the extension, just warm up. Come on. I like that, Cock. Keep your eyes on the road, don't the whole way through. It's a rebound, so as this hits, I rebound off the see how it's slow. Does that make sense? So I'm starting to calm my time. Really start to shade the fat off. So for instance, if I hammer strike him across the face, instead of going boom, resetting the back fist, and I restart, I'll contain that motion, bouncing off my body. Does that make sense? Got it? So that's what that is. That's what this is saying. Don't stress about today. It's just nice to know she did that.
Could you do that once for camera on me? Just so we can see the rebound? Yeah.
That makes sense to you guys? Yes. This is the first one.
All right. Try that out.
Ooh.
Down, and then right there. Yeah, I like that. Let you ride. No.
Okay. So now, I want you all to, we're going to stay with the same partner for this next level, this next piece. And then about 3 minutes or so after I get this part of the class explained, then I'll start to kind of rotate you guys. So when I do that, by the way, let's say, for instance, you're an advanced student working with a white belt. That's your chance to go over and grab another advanced student for a bit. If your two advanced students been working together and blasting each other, that's your chance to go over and grab a white or yellow or orange belt and start to mix it up as well. And then right after that session, you can just go back and grab, somebody your own rank and start to blast it out. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's a really nice way to do class. It's also, if I do place an advanced student with a white belt, that's your chance to actually start to help and teach and break things down for you as a senior. Does that make sense? Okay, the only real senior in it is sorry, old boy. I'm not too far behind you. But anyway, my point being is just make sure you guys are understanding there's benefits and value to that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So this is what we're going to do. And I just hit tough, so I'll hit you. Oh, didn't you? You've already been smashed. Come on. AJ got you in the ear?
Several times.
Oh, buddy. What was he working on?
Elbows.
Oh, that's fun. When did he do that?
Monday.
Oh, good. And it's still ringing.
Yeah.
I have his phone number if you need it. All right. So the concept was about that accelerating that game engine. I mean, it really can. And I've watched. There's a great video online, and I think it's like a McDonald's or someplace like a donut shop or what have you. This big cat, like it's like 7 against me, and this guy's talking obviously all kinds of trash and really heating up the conflict. This other guy seems to be like, hey, he's he's using his peaceful hand. And this guy just, I can't remember, I gotta rewatch it, but I don't know if he actually accelerated the conflict by physically touching him or starting to come after him, or maybe he just said the wrong thing, or he stepped into him and he's like, he probably already said, hey, do not get any closer. All this cat did, all he did was go, boom, and shot him right there. That guy went, out. His whole body stiffened and he was gone. That's one strike wonder right there. That's really what we want. We don't want to have to go 15, 20 swords, right? That's great. It gives us tools in case we don't knock them out. But really, we're working on the first 3, 4 strikes, right? Okay, so 5 swords. Creating this, same concept. 1. Now, instead of going to chop, and you can still go to the chop, by the way, but I like what this does for the pattern. I'm going to roll my back fist. I also like to roll it downward. And I don't like to slap her in a horizontal plane, because if I slap her horizontally, she may gain some distance and have time to reset. I want to stick her down a little bit. I want to stick her into her feet, okay? So from here, I'll roll this, and I have 2 ways of acceleration. The first would be the basic way I showed you earlier, with the front leg stepping off. So it's 1, 2, 3. Stepping into that. Then, bam, I can shoot the rest of the technique. The other would be 1, 2, I like this one. Might be a little more advanced for you, but I like it because it's set up and it just feels good. Bringing a little more of my backup mass with it as well. It's a rear crossover step. So from here, bam, I shoot that in this way. Again, it's a falling motion. It's not control. This is control, obviously, but my backup mass is literally more boom, pow. Just letting it die, roll. Right? Or boom, wow, pow. Boom, wow, pow. Oh, wow. Does that make sense? So, try it. The key is to let the body settle and accelerate, obviously, with the weapon, moving with that motion, timing with the motion, and accelerate with either if I'm here stepping off, or if I'm here stepping off. Make sense? Try that with 5 swords, and you can add the uppercut and whatever else you want. All right, you guys get it?
Sir.
We're also, just so you know where we're going with this, 5 swords, we can go from here and finalize it with that shot as well. All right? I can go right into it. Shoot that as well. Does that make sense? I can go the right side, but in this case, we're trying to end it with the first 3 shots. I could even really go boom, boom, I say boom, boom, and shoot that. So we're going to play a little bit with this and trying to create that strike into our I'm not picking a thing. Into our program. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's a great use of this. It's a good way to kind of fine tune. Okay, go play.
Thanks for getting me out.
Yeah. Yes, that's it. I was going to ask if you needed to see it.
Oh, no, I felt this.
Would I come down and play? Right.
Still kind of
basically being pulled into the feel it though, man. It's crazy. So what I'm doing is I'm fixing that mastoid muscle. So this is the primary weapon that there's a big margin of error there. It catches different components. So that's the
Oh my god.
that was just me going bam, right?
Okay, so right here.
Right.
See, I could just
Oh my god. And then if you top the ears, you get deep enough, you get the ear.
Yeah,
It's not.
cup it to the section.
Even if it's just a. So yeah. And then of course you have the. I go into the or you have the form. You see what I'm saying? Asteroid, yep.
Ooh. So feel that.
It's such a vulnerable place in your body that we don't necessarily think about, but that's the balance zone right there. That's your equilibrium. All right, folks, up now. Go ahead, find somebody. If you like each other that much, then stay. You want to rotate around? Sure, rotate, find somebody. Hey, groups of three are fine, by the way. If you find yourself in a group of three, somebody walks up to you and says, I like you guys, I want to work with you. No, don't be mean. Okay?
All right.
Oh, right. So that's a little bit more. If I need to, let's say I'm in that position and I need to switch. See how I spread it? My body says it needs something else. So instead of just unwinding in place, if I'm all twisted up, watch my right leg. And that's really letting your body speak its own language and tell you where it needs to go. Because if I'm like this or something, reminder. Now, using this guy. Yeah. We're not. If you're look, I don't hate my left, but I certainly love my right more. Okay. So if you guys want, go ahead and fire at me. If you guys, roundhouse, please. If you guys want to practice the right on this combination, right? You can start the technique by the first class of 1, 2, 3. Right? And then instead of going 4, 5, 6, which you could, you want to go ahead and get that in early. 1, 2, 3. Just go right from here. Shoot them right there. End it. We still have all these blasts. Shoot that in. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
If I want to go ahead and knock the wind out of them with the uppercut, I can. I can shoot. Boom. Shoot. Because that angle here wins to that shot there. Right? You guys get it?
Yes, sir.
All right, have fun. Thanks, man. That'd be nice to
talking about? Oh,
Yeah, Fred, whenever you're here a little later,
like-
and you want to come in, I was gonna tell you tonight, just come in. I know you're scheduled.
that's my fault. You accelerated that, didn't you?
Dude, that is so Tai Chi. That's so beautiful. Yeah. That's so powerful. That's so beautiful.
It's so, I watch you move on your videos sometimes, and I see, I love the power video, the mixed video that you put out the other day. It was your own personal form.
Oh, thank you.
Mixed a bunch of hard and soft
Yeah.
in there. And all that explosive power, what we're doing. Circle, lines. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Really cool. Up, rotate. Okay. Here's another thing. I'll hurt you, buddy. That's right here. I like that. I really. When I was just showing Molly, just watching you guys and watching patterns start to take place, and just sometimes I'll see something. This can go boom. You know how what we're doing is we can play the skipping the rock, right? We can skip the rock and make it bounce, right? Like it's hitting a trampoline. From here, that would hit his face down, so it's boom, rolling back this, versus going this way, sticking him into this position. I can still use that up the circle movement with my left. This could be a little sophisticated, by the way, if you're new. So don't stress, work on little pieces of the class that work for you tonight. But this is something for other people maybe to play with, or for you to play with, depending on your skills and what you're taking in. As this hits, boom, I roll it, and it fits with the left foot's movement. Boom, drop. Now when I drop here, boom, I'm going to come back up with the shot. As I come back up, I release that shot that's back on his chin. Again. So again, I'm playing with these patterns, this paintbrush. 1, 2, 3. That left is what's accelerating each one of those shots. The move, and my right is my stabilizer. Right? It's interesting, little exploration. My right stabilizes into that right arm. Then my left takes over. Now, because I've dropped in, I get to use these muscles here to rise back up. So when I hit him here, I just turn that back up. I hit the reverse switch, and I shoot. Boom! And as I'm catching, see what that left leg is doing? Shoot that back down. Okay? Yes, sir. Another cool little combination of it's obscure motion, but it's a very, very feasible pattern. You know, I mean, it's not well, obscure maybe for him, but it's an orthodox motion, but it's a very feasible pattern. It's a very doable pattern, and you're starting to learn how to utilize your stance changes to your advantage, to the power's advantage. Does that make sense, folks?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Well, I can't see. What's the last right?
Molly.
Okay.
So, boom, this will hit the face. I'm just going to use your chest. Boom, this comes back up.
Okay.
So, It's kind of coming from this. That's saying, I did a rising sun. So boom, roll, back up, boom, and then from here. Okay. Now, I also, as I was talking to Mr. Lucanus about this, he wanted to know what this was like. This is a great shot. Ridge. Damn, that's a great shot. That's a knockout. Going right into that artery. And I'm using my little hidden bone right there. Or, if I'm close, maybe I end up feeling myself closer. Right? Or maybe I want to get that way. Maybe she starts to throw. Now I get the forearm. Yeah, this is here. Bam, shoot it back up. Shoot back up. Right? So I'm always feeding off of what I see and allowing the Kenpo to start talking and speaking as language. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Play. Go. Thank you. Make sure that after this round you guys want instead of this, right here. See what I'm saying? That's what one thing there, Rob, watch this. Your good work. Sorry, Chris. I get excited, and then all of a sudden it's 8:07. Darn it! Sorry, folks. I'm sorry. Sorry, Fred. All right, I know you guys need some of your private lessons. Again, showing pieces of this to, again, we're working patterns within that theme of what strike can I end this with, and how to decrease how many strikes I need to use in an altercation. This is not an altercation. This is a fight. This is an altercation, and him swinging at me. Does that make sense? There's a difference between what we study here. We can study the fight, we can study the ring, and we can also study what's the more weird conflicts and obscure stuff that happens in unorthodox stuff that happens in the street. Yeah? So as he comes in, I was watching. I think Kanan's the one that just about stumbled upon this because what his right hand did this. He went boom, and his right hand is here. It's right there. He rise it back up and shoot, right? Which we explored. But taking another piece of 5 swords, one of the basic pieces of the technique, and playing with that, we can still make this boom, boom, right? Boom, work. Watch what my left leg does. I'm going to accelerate. This guy's bigger than me. I need him away from me. Boom, shoot that down. And then rise up. Watch the left leg. So you have the left leg catted up again. And shoot it back in. So again, I'm using that same concept of allowing my backup mass to fall into my striking battles. And that one was because this guy's tall, right? I need to accelerate. I'm not just going to go here. I'm going to go through it. Boom! Shoot him back up. Now move again. Does that make sense? I'm small. I got to learn how to throw this stuff with me. You guys understand?
Sure.
Something you can continue to explore. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Go ahead and line it back up. Guys, get something from this class? Fun exploration? Cool. Play with it. That's what it's for. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? Any actions? Good. Show respect. Look at the flag. Shove it. Up front. Good. Step out. Big deep breath in. Exhale. have a fight, grasp the wall, come on back.